Jalen Withers here. We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. We'll start with Brett Dawson.
Hey, Jalen, you guys, you had a lead. They came back and got a lead. You fought back with them. It was kind of a back and forth thing. What do you think ultimately kept you guys from getting over the hump?
I said attention to detail and us rebounding. We're out rebounding them. I think 16-5 in the first half, and second half they cleaned up on the glass a lot better.
Is it encouraging for you guys at all? Obviously, you lose again, but to build a lead the way you did, to have a little fight when they made runs, did you see encouraging things?
I did. I seen a lot more, I guess, resiliency. Whenever that adversity did hit, I mean, we continued to fight, but those two things that I mentioned a second ago were the things that hindered us.
You have additional questions? You can hop in if you have one. Don't worry about raising your hand.
Jalen, this is a little bit unusual for you guys because you're doing kind of an NBA style trip here. You go straight from here, obviously, and you'll be on the road a little bit and play at Notre Dame. How is that different? Does it change the way you approach anything at all?
Not necessarily. I think that we have the same approach. It's just a change of scenery, pretty much.
Can that be good for you, just to do something a little different? I mean, for you guys, is it maybe helpful to just try to break routines a little?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'll be real good for us to get a road win in our conference.
Jalen, how much of a factor is fatigue in some of these games? A lot of you guys are playing a lot of minutes, and you have been all season. Is that something that's come into play late in games, do you think?
I personally don't think that I can answer that. I can't really speak for any of the other players, but I know that I'm pretty good as far as my wind and my body holding up.
Anything else for Jalen? Okay. Thank you, Jalen.
Appreciate y'all. Oh.
Hey, everybody, got Coach Payne here. Coach, we'll let you start us out, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Boston College is a good team, very solid. They have something that I wish we had a little more of, and that's toughness. Their physicality, the way they play. For the most part, we handled it first half. Second half, they were the aggressors and they put us on our heels. Thought this was a winnable game. Just think the elephant in the room is the turnovers. And you can't describe some of them when a guy forgets to play, runs to the wrong spot and just panics and throws the ball, or just kicks it out of bounds, or travels, or just turnovers that are unnecessary, which leads to layups. You look at the stat sheet, you walk away saying we did everything it took to win the game, but we still didn't handle the elephant in the room, which is the turnovers.
Brett Dawson, go ahead.
Yeah, Kenny, the turnovers obviously are a repeating thing, the same thing. I wonder what looked different about your guys tonight. There were some times it seemed like they responded to some of those runs there until the end and kept yourselves in it.
I just think, we had some moments where we were really good. We started the game off really good. I can't remember what the largest lead was, 11 or 12 points. And I felt like we had a good grasp of the game. And then the 12 should have been 18. But what happens is if you don't take advantage of those moments, you got to know that the other team on their home court is going to make a run. So we walk in the locker room, instead of being up 18, we walk in there up 6. And a lot of it was off our mistakes. Then the second half, they jump on us. We knew they would go to the big guy a little more post. And I don't know what he ended up scoring the second half, but he hurt us. Then they got in a rhythm offensively. We got in foul trouble, and it just made it difficult for us to overcome.
Kenny, I got to ask you, why the jacket? And would that have been a permanent thing if you guys had pulled this one out?
No, I'm not superstitious like that. I think it's coaches versus cancer week, and we wanted to respect that and dress up for that and honor all the cancer people and how many lives have been lost from cancer. So that was the reason for the jacket.
Mark. Eric Crawford, go ahead.
Yeah, Kenny, clearly they came in and had a grasp of your game plan and had prepared well for this thing. Is there something over the course of games? Is there some, I don't know, fatigue factor, even mental fatigue that maybe hampers this team in the second half of some of these games? Not to be too psychological about it, but is there something there?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. If it's something psychological there, I think you really break down this game. Basketball in any sport is probably more mental than it is physical. And what separates good from great is mental. What separates bad from good is mental. The mental capacity to fight through adversity, the mental capacity to focus and do your job at hard times and be locked in, and not forget and be mentally sharp and play with a determination. Look, the kids tried hard. I know they're not robots, and I want them to be at times. But I really would like to see them. They deserve to win. I like to see them fight all the way through and win games. I think we're capable, but it's going to take a lot. We don't have wiggle room, and I keep telling them that, and I'm hoping that they figure it out and understand what that means. I'm describing it to them. We're never going to be the most talented team of anybody we play, but that does not mean you can't win.
Brett Dawson, go ahead.
Kenny, I know you guys are going on to Notre Dame and making this kind of a road trip. When you're down and things aren't going your way, do you hope maybe that just a little thing like that, a change in routine might help your guys?
Um, you know, I wish I was smart enough to understand what that means. A change in routine would help us. To me, is strictly fight. Strictly just doing whatever it takes um, to win a game. You know, when the game started, I told the guys, here's my analogy for you. Take out the strategies, doesn't mean anything. We're two dogs and there's one bone. Who's gonna eat? That's the mentality you gotta have. And I thought we did that for parts of the game, but I thought other parts of the game, um, whether it's feel for it, IQ for it, um, you know, energy to fight through and hit people and not let them get confidence by hitting us first. You hit first. Those type of things. So to me, it's not about, you know, some routine that changes. It's more about our mental approach during the battle, trying to win the game. How do we handle that?
Any more questions?
Kenny, I also wanted to ask you, you had some of your old Knicks guys and a couple of those guys who had played with you at Kentucky. What was it like seeing those guys? What did you talk to them about?
It was good to see them there supporting. A couple of the coaching staff members came, Julius and Manuel quickly, and R.J. Barrett, and a few other guys came, and it's good to see them. I know they with us. I'm sure I'll be getting a phone call with coaching tips, but they probably asking why hadn't I put hands on somebody yet, because they know me to be a little crazy. But they're supportive, and I was happy they came.
Anything else?
Uh, Kenny, I wonder with these turnovers, I know you put them on video and look at them and probably different every game, but is there a common theme that, you know, if you could tell them if we could clean up this one thing or one approach or one thing we're doing wrong, that it might alleviate, you know, at least a small number of them?
Yeah, you know, I think that anytime you make a pass and you jump to make the pass, you're in the air and you jump. Anytime you make a pass and you don't step with your feet to make the pass. Anytime you throw the ball to the inside hand opposed to the outside hand. Anytime you're not in triple threat and you're on your heels with the ball over your head, turnover. Anytime you don't anticipate on a drive that they're going to collapse and the spacing is not right, so you may have to back dribble to create the space to make the pass to get off the ball. Anytime you don't play with poise. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can name what leads to it, but at the end of the day, we got to try to fix it. And it's been the same from the first day till today. You know, we had a stretch in the first half where we didn't turn the ball over a lot. And then, you know, all of a sudden we in the half and there was a bunch of turnovers and allowed them to get back in it.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, Coach. Thank you all.